The day was drawing to a close, and the world seemed to slow its pace, as if nature itself was preparing for a gentle farewell. By the magnificent Lewand Lake, the air was filled with a sense of calm anticipation, as if every living thing was waiting for the sun's final bow. The sun, a great orange ball, began its slow descent, painting the sky with breathtaking pinks, lavenders, and golds. Each moment, the colors deepened, shifting and swirling like a living canvas above the water. The lake mirrored this spectacle, shimmering like liquid gold in the evening breeze. Ripples danced across the surface, catching the last rays and scattering them in 1,000 directions. I found a spot on a worn log near the water's edge, simply to watch this daily miracle unfold. The log felt smooth and cool beneath me, grounding me in the present as I became a quiet observer to nature's grand performance. The air cooled, carrying the sweet scent of African soil and the lake. A gentle breeze rustled the grasses at my feet, and the earth beneath me seemed to exhale, releasing the warmth it had gathered all day. Birds flew in silhouette against the sky, heading for their nests in ancient baobab trees. Their wings cut graceful shapes through the fading light, a silent procession marking the end of another day. The world seemed to pause, holding its breath in admiration. Even the insects quieted, as if they too were captivated by the beauty unfolding before us. Dragonflies hovered above the water, their delicate wings catching the last glimmers of sunlight, while reeds swayed gently, whispering secrets to the wind. The lively chatter of the day faded, replaced by the gentle lapping of water and distant cattle bells. The sounds blended into a soothing lullaby, inviting reflection and peace. As the last sliver of sun disappeared, twilight bathed the world in a soft, magical glow. Shadows lengthened, and the landscape transformed into a realm of quiet wonder. The first star appeared, a promise of celestial wonders to come. It twinkled above the horizon, a tiny beacon in the vast, deepening blue. I dipped my fingers into the cool water, feeling the pulse of the lake, as if connecting with something timeless and eternal. Sitting there, I felt overwhelming gratitude for this place, this moment, and the simple, profound beauty of nature. In the hush of evening, I realized that every sunset is both an ending and a promise, a gentle goodbye, and the hope of another dawn. As the sunset faded, a new light began to glow, a campfire. At first, just a flicker, it soon grew into a cheerful blaze, casting a warm circle of light. The fire's crackle and pop sent sparks into the night, a comforting ancient music. Its smoky aroma filled the air, a perfume of the wilderness. The scent of burning wood mixed with the earth and nearby vegetation, evoking memories of shared meals and quiet reflection. The fire's gentle heat was a comfort in the cool night air. We instinctively drew closer, letting the warmth seep into our skin. The fire's glow painted our faces with soft, flickering light, creating an intimate, magical space. In that circle of warmth, the outside world melted away. We were just a small group, brought together by the simple magic of a campfire. The night was ready for stories. People gathered around the fire's glow, a mix of travelers and Malawian hosts, faces from different corners of the world, all drawn by the promise of Africa. Our hosts' smiles were genuine, their kindness immediate. We arranged our chairs in a circle, dissolving barriers and creating instant community. Stories of the day's adventures flowed, elephants at the water's edge, kingfishers darting across the lake. Our Malawian friends added details in Chichewa, weaving together perspectives and experiences. Laughter bubbled up as we shared funny stories and learned about each other's lives. The fire encouraged us to open up, reminding us of our shared human desires for connection and joy. In that circle, we found all three in abundance. By the shores of Lewand Lake, we were no longer strangers. As our voices settled, the African night came alive with its own story. The deep call of a hippopotamus echoed across the water. "Mvu," our guide David whispered. Hippo's grunts and bellows were the bass notes of the night, a reminder we were guests in their wild home. From the woodlands, the whooping of a spotted hyena added a thrilling mystery. The air filled with crickets and frogs, a relentless symphony of life. Occasionally, a nightjar's cry cut through the darkness. Each sound was a clue to the secret life of the bush. Listening felt like tuning into a secret radio station from the heart of the wild. Sitting by the fire, I felt small but connected to something grand and untamed. The fire kept us safe, but the wild reminded us of the adventure just beyond. It was a perfect balance of comfort and awe. As the fire crackled and stars blanketed the sky, the time for storytelling arrived. David, our guide, leaned forward, his face lit by the flames, ready to share a secret. In Malawi, stories are lessons, teaching right and wrong, community, and harmony with nature. The animals of the bush, clever hare, strong lion, wise elephant, are the main characters. David's grandmother once told him stories like this around a fire. The magic of storytelling is universal. A good story captures any imagination. David's expressive voice brought the tale to life, his tone shifting for each character. The firelight danced across his face, making the story a living performance. We were captivated, the wild soundtrack adding to the atmosphere. Oral tradition is more than words. It's an experience involving all the senses. It creates vivid, lasting memories. We were ready for the story to begin. David began, his voice warm and inviting. Tonight I'll tell you why the tortoise's shell is not smooth. The fire crackled, casting dancing shadows as everyone leaned in, eager for the tale to unfold. Long ago, in a time when animals spoke and gathered as friends, all creatures were invited to a grand feast in the sky. The birds soared with excitement, but Kamba the tortoise, who could not fly, watched them with longing from the ground below. Determined not to miss out, Kamba hatched a clever plan. He flattered the birds and convinced them to lend him their feathers, promising to be on his best behavior. He even chose the name All of You, so he could blend in with the flock. When they reached the sky, the feast was more magnificent than anyone had imagined. Platters of delicious food stretched as far as the eye could see. When the host announced, "This meal is for all of you," Kamba, true to his trickster nature, claimed every dish for himself, leaving the birds hungry and confused. The birds, realizing they had been deceived, were hurt and angry. They took back their feathers, leaving Kamba stranded high above the earth, with no way to return home. Desperate, Kamba called down to his wife, asking her to prepare a soft landing for his fall. But she misheard his plea, and instead of soft leaves and grass, she laid out hard sticks and stones. Kamba tumbled from the sky, crashing onto the unforgiving rocks below. His beautiful shell shattered into pieces, scattering across the ground. A wise old snail, moved by Kamba's plight, carefully gathered the broken pieces and glued them back together. But no matter how hard he tried, the shell could never be smooth again. The cracks remained, a patchwork of lessons learned. To this day, the tortoise's shell bears those cracks, a reminder to all who see it. Never let greed or trickery come between you and your friends, for every action leaves its mark. David smiled, his eyes twinkling in the firelight as he finished the tale, letting the lessons settle in the quiet night air. The story's message lingered, glowing softly like embers, as we all sat in thoughtful silence, reflecting on the wisdom shared. Soon, smiles and laughter returned, and we all grinned, enchanted by the story, grateful for the warmth of friendship and the magic of a good tale. After the story, a comfortable silence fell as we looked up. The fire crackled softly, its glow flickering on our faces, while the gentle lapping of the lake was the only sound. We sat together, wrapped in blankets, feeling the cool night air settle around us, each of us lost in our own thoughts, yet sharing the same sense of wonder. With no city lights, the sky above Liwonde Lake was a velvet canvas scattered with diamonds. The darkness was so complete that every star seemed to burn brighter, their reflections shimmering in the still water below. It felt as if the universe had opened up just for us, revealing its secrets in the quiet African night. The Milky Way stretched across the heavens, echoing the Shire River below. Its pale, glowing band arched from horizon to horizon, a river of light mirroring the water at our feet. We traced its path with our eyes, marveling at how it seemed to connect earth and sky in a single, breathtaking sweep. David pointed out constellations, not Greek or Roman, but local stories. He spoke softly, sharing the legends passed down through generations, his finger drawing invisible lines between the stars. Each tale brought the sky to life, turning distant lights into characters and adventures that belonged to this land. The elephant's stomach, the canoe, each star cluster held meaning for the people here. These were not just patterns, but reminders of ancestors, of journeys taken and lessons learned. The stories made the night feel alive, as if the stars themselves were watching over us, guardians of memory and tradition. The universe felt immense yet intimately connected to life on the land. Under this vast sky, I sensed how generations before us had looked up and found guidance, hope, and inspiration in these same stars. The boundary between the earth and the heavens seemed to blur, uniting us with the world above. I lay back, awed by the scale of the cosmos and my small place within it. The grass was cool beneath me, the fire's warmth at my side, and above the infinite sky. I felt both tiny and infinite, a single heartbeat in the endless rhythm of the universe. A shooting star streaked by, a magical gift from the African night. We gasped in delight, making silent wishes as it vanished. For a moment, time seemed to pause, and the world felt full of possibility and wonder. Lying there with the warmth of the fire and the cool earth, I felt complete contentment. The laughter of friends, the hush of the wild, and the beauty overhead combined into a feeling I wanted to hold on to forever. This was more than a trip. It was a memory that would shine forever. The bonds we formed, the stories we shared, and the awe we felt beneath the stars would stay with us, lighting our lives long after we left this place. The beauty of the stars and the spirit of this land created a perfect moment, one that would live on in our hearts, as bright and enduring as the constellations above. The fire was now glowing embers casting a soft red light. Malawi is truly the warm heart of Africa, not just in climate, but in the soul of its people. Our hosts treated us like old friends, sharing food, stories, and knowledge with generosity. This spirit of welcoming, Tikulandirani, is everywhere. In a child's wave, a helping hand, shared laughter. It makes you feel safe, welcome, and deeply appreciated. Their stories reflect a deep respect for nature, seeing animals as teachers. This perspective fosters connection and responsibility toward the environment. As we said our goodnights, it felt like more than a goodbye. A real connection had been forged. We arrived as strangers, but left as friends, bound by shared wonder. The warmth of the fire matched only by the warmth in the hearts of those who shared it. Walking back to my lodge under a million stars, my heart is full. The wild's lullaby and the smoky scent of the campfire linger. Experiences like this open your eyes and heart, reminding you of the world's beauty and the connections we make. The treasures of travel are moments of awe, community, and friendship. They enrich our lives and remind us of our shared humanity. Not everyone can travel to Malawi, but the spirit of this evening is universal. It's about watching sunsets, listening to stories, showing kindness, and finding magic in simple moments. The warmth and wonder of the African campfire can inspire us all. My journey continues, and I hope you'll find your own adventures, near or far. Until next time, stay curious and keep the fire of wonder burning in your heart.